ever go back to the hotel last night?
It's a good question, and it's a fair one because, it might be wearing the same
It is
suit.
a slightly different shade of suit, gone from John Wick henchman to John Wick himself.
I can confirm it has a pattern, too.
Yes.
It's not a solid color.
It was dark blue yesterday. Go back, watch the tape.
Don't make me bring backup producer Pete up here.
Backup producer Pete looks like he's been reading Moby Dick all night and watching Master and Commander. He man looks like he is about to commandeer a boat through the Caribbean.
Let America see what you're rocking.
Let's go,
here.
Pete. This is the man, the legend right here.
There we go.
We weren't lying. We actually undersold it.
There you go.
We undersold
I just want to know why the buttons are golden. That's my only thing.
Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour. We are live again here on Radio Row for Super Bowl 60. Tons of guests rolling in on this very busy Wednesday, and Fantasy Football Happy Hour rolls on. We've already talked to T-Mac.
Yes.
Tetairoa McMillan.
Yes.
I know you and Jay were with Damar Hamlin and Teddy Bruschi.
Yes, we were.
There's a lot happening right now.
And we've got a jam-packed show coming up, I believe, later on in the show. Your man, Alec Pierce.
Wow.
For the shoe, will be joining us.
I get to interview Damar Hamlin and Alec Pierce on the same day, my two NFL heroes.
That's right.
What could be better?
Well, and by the way, Joe Flacco turned us down. Did not want to face the ire.
Yeah.
Didn't want to get in the crosshairs.
I almost tripped over his 6 children walking onto set. I'm not even kidding. They were sitting right there.
Yeah.
Very troubling. But no, tune in. We did the definitive comeback player of the year interview with Damar Hamlin. He was very happy to talk about it. It was good. It was very cathartic for me. It was very therapeutic.
Very therapeutic. And Teddy Bruschi with some awesome Belichick stuff. So
he's very good on TV, Teddy Bruschi. Yeah.
He's great. And he, by the way, he's like an awesome human being. Just not that Damar Hamlin isn't, but I mean, I worked for many years, obviously, with Teddy at ESPN. He's an awesome teammate. He's an awesome human being. It was great to spend some time with him as well. And not bad to spend some time with you guys.
I was going to say, we don't really do this here. This is the only time.
Yeah, exactly.
You have business meetings. You're at NBA games where no players play.
Yeah, it was great.
What is that about, by the way? Because when we went last year, we went to the Combine. We saw a Pacers-Raptors game, and literally no one played.
This is the dark side of the NBA.
Yeah.
Sometimes the players don't play. So yeah, I went to Warriors Sixers last night, expecting to see all the stars. No Stephen Curry, no Joel Embiid, no Paul George, no Jimmy Butler, but it's fine. We got to see a lot of Pat Spencer and Brandon Pajemski, Matthew's man, Brandon Pajemski.
Yes.
Backup producer Pete did not wear his legendary jacket.
That's a shame.
He was like talking to people in the crowd about Tom Brady's legacy and stuff. It wasn't great. It wasn't great.
Not the place.
Yeah, he's like yelling a lot. It wasn't great.
It's very tough.
I'm really sad I missed it.
No, it isn't. It sounds like my fantasy basketball team, by the way, which is constantly injured. Although somehow I beat you last week.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but
my
I'm
team's
like
very
in
banged
second
up.
to last place. It's a terrible team.
No one told me that Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard ever missed time. But the highlight, we were all in a Waymo last night, robot car. Roto Pat was in the car. He's not a man that you want to drive in a Waymo with. He kept on trying to grab the wheel.
Yeah, you can't see that.
But people don't know what a Waymo is. For people, it's a San Francisco thing.
It's a self-driving robotic car. You get in like an Uber, and it just transports you there. There's no driver in there.
But the wheel does.
The wheel does move, which is very eerie.
Yeah.
It is but it's very cool. And also, felt safer, honestly, than like a random Uber driver or whatever. Yeah.
Well,
very high on Waymo.
pays attention.
Very high on Waymo. Such a novelty as well. I felt like a 6-year-old boy. It was awesome. I really want to get in another one.
Roto Pat, not a fan?
Yeah, he was just nervous and kept on trying to touch the wheel. It's not what you do.
You
can't touch the wheel.
You got to let the robot do robot things.
Yeah.
All right,
everyone knows that.
Let's get into the Rotoworld Player news before we have some awesome interviews on set here today, and we're going to kick things off, of course, with Todd Monken, the biggest news, or maybe the biggest surprise of all the hirings as you look at the Ravens' offensive ranks under Todd Monken. He confirmed he will be calling plays for the Browns, which I think is great news in our world, Matthew.
Yeah, I mean, why have Todd Monken if he's not going to call the plays?
Exactly.
Like,
that's why you hire him.
Right, exactly. I mean, he's not somebody that you feel, I don't know, he wasn't the most inspiring head coach choice, but I think people all agree that as a play caller, he's somebody that can get the most out of what the Browns have on the roster.
And now what everyone's wondering is how they're going to use those quarterbacks on the roster, which, of course, Todd Monken was asked about.
Am I excited about Shedeur? Am I excited about all the quarterbacks in the room? Am I excited to coach this football team? Absolutely. I can't wait for them to get back and for us to get started. From an offense or defensive perspective, it starts with having elite players and then having an elite coaching staff with you. And then you can call the game freely because of that.
Todd Monken, obviously not going to, commit to one player.
No, it's interesting he mentioned Shedeur with and the other quarterbacks.
And they posted a video of him meeting with Shedeur right away after he was hired.
Yeah, no video of him and Dylan Gabriel hanging out. Yeah. No video of him and Deshaun Watson.
Noticing.
Yeah.
I'm noticing.
Yeah.
Connor, would you take Shedeur or the field for starting quarterback for the Browns week 1?
I would take Shedeur.
Okay.
Number one, it's not like they're in prime position to take a guy that you're starting right away. And they just draft. I know he didn't draft 2 quarterbacks last year, but I think they need to build out the rest of the roster, notably the offense, the offensive line, the wide receiver room. And then you look at free agency, there's just not a lot of options. So I feel like
if you were running the Browns, do you just say we're going to roll with Shedeur for a year and then see where we are?
Build out the rest of the team.
Build out the rest of the team, and then maybe next year you're in a better position for a quarterback. They get out of Deshaun in 2 more years? 1 more year?
I think it's 2.
I believe it's 7 to 9 more years of Deshaun. We'll never escape.
Well, it's 7 to 9 more years of
cap.
of bad
Insanity.
karma. But I think in terms of cap space, it might be 2.
Right. So they're kind of in a transition phase of the team.
But do you try to make something to Deshaun?
I don't think there's anything there. Where does Shedeur stack up in this draft class? Like, if he was going to wear into the draft?
Question.
Mendoza presumably is a tier above.
I mean, it's Mendoza ahead of him for sure. There's a combo with him and Simpson. I don't think Trinidad will be in this draft. We still have to see with this lawsuit, but I think he'd be the second quarterback taken. If you just took away all of the theatrics around his draft last year, like just based off of the player himself, I think he'd be the second quarterback taken.
Okay, all right. Browns
it's not a good quarterback draft.
Yeah, it's very tough to evaluate.
You would rather, knowing what you know now, forgetting the noise, you'd rather Shedeur Sanders versus Ty Simpson straight up? Like if you're a general manager? If I said you can have one of these quarterbacks to build around.
I would take Ty, but I don't think that's unanimous. Like I think that's it's not consensus.
Yeah, well, I would agree with that.
I think it's a more interesting combo than people want to admit.
Yep.
I think that's probably right.
So I think Shedeur's more accurate than Ty Simpson.
Fair.
So it's just a matter of if you can kind of slow down the game for him pre-snap to stop taking sacks like that and making those mistakes, which is why Todd Monken will help with that.
Yes.
Like Todd Monken's an accomplished offensive coach. Now we just have to see ultimately how it plays out.
Yep.
No question.
Our next bit of news here, Matt Ryan, who, if you missed it, he is the Falcons president of football right now. Non-committal on Michael Penix Jr. as the starter. Listen to this sound.
Is Michael Penix the starter as soon as he is healthy? And if not, is there a plan for competition to bring him in?
Well, neither of us are the head coach of the football team, so we can't answer your question on that. But, I think all of us are going to get together, and we're, excited about Mike and what he's doing with his rehab. I've been up at the facility the last, 3 weeks, and Michael's been in there attacking that, and he's in a good space right now. So we're excited about where he's at, but certainly a lot of discussions for us about the entire roster.
I like that's up for the head coach to decide answer.
Well, listen, he's a broadcast professional, Matt Ryan. And by the way, friend of the show, Matt Ryan.
He was with us at Radio Row in Vegas 2 years ago.
Yes, sir, he was.
Definitive Matt Ryan interview.
Definitive Matt Ryan interview. He went back to the pros after that interview.
Yeah,
it took a CBS stop for an hour. But, clearly. All right, here's my question. If you're Michael Penix, that can't make you feel good.
No. But what are you going to do?
No, I understand what are you going to do, but I'm just saying, if you're Michael Penix or if you are a dynasty manager who has Michael Penix, you can't, here's Matt Ryan, the greatest Falcons quarterback in history. Sorry, Brad Gradkowski.
Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Ryan had a better career than Michael Vick.
Longevity versus...
Matt Ryan won the MVP and was up 28-3 in the Super Bowl.
Matt, that's right.
Forget that one a lot.
No, I know, but Matt Ryan, I would argue Matt Ryan is the greatest quarterback in the Falcons history.
I'm just saying that Michael Vick goes above Gradkowski.
Yeah. Or Matt Shaw.
Kind of matches you. I'm not sold on Quinn Ewers yet. The public is hyping him up, but not me. Still one of my favorite moments of the show.
I was just trying to think of obscure Falcons quarterbacks, and that was the first one that came to mind.
I've got Matt Ryan over Desmond Ridder.
Right.
Certainly. Yeah.
Who's the Chris?
Well, it was Chandler.
Chris Chandler. That was who I was trying to think of. Chris Chandler. Yeah. All right. Anyway, but the fact that he just didn't come out. Here's Matt Ryan, who didn't come out and say Michael Penix is our guy. Michael Penix is healthy. Right. He's like what I saw in the draft. I'm excited about this kid. The fact that he didn't just kind of come out and say that, I think is very telling, especially because, by the way, part of the reason he's there is because the guy that had the job before him, more or less,
Right.
spent an early pick on Penix after spending $100 million on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, the other thing too is like he tore his ACL. Like
Right.
he might not be ready to start the season, so it might not be a commentary on where he stands healthy in the pecking
That's
order.
right.
He may just not be ready to start the season as well.
No,
so whether
but
that leads to
I push back on that because while you're correct, he may not be ready to start the season. The answer there is like, look, he's still a long way to go in his rehab, but we believe in Michael Penix.
Sure.
Whenever he's healthy, and we hope it's soon,
Sure.
he's our starter. I love what I saw. I loved him coming out of Washington.
Yeah.
He's our guy.
Yeah, you just
He
don't
didn't
need to paint yourself into that corner, though, right? Like, I don't
No.
think you need to.
Well, especially when you're not the coach of the team.
Yeah.
So maybe he hasn't had those combos with Kevin Stefanski yet, although you would think that's part of the hiring process.
You would think so.
I'm just saying.
You would think that
I'm
would
just
come up
saying.
at some point during an
I
interview.
mean, Kirk Cousins is on the roster still. It's a weird situation to dissect.
It's a very weird, sneakily
Yeah.
weird organization because the thing is, the Falcons are not thought of in the same breath as the Browns or the
Cardinals
Jets.
and Jets, yeah.
But like the
It's
Falcons,
the trifecta.
and also like they're bad, but they're bad where they're like 7-10, 8-9
That's right.
every year. They never bottom out to 2-15, which is kind of why they're 7-10 every year. But I don't think the team's made the playoffs in 8 years now.
No,
and they have
it's-
a super talented roster at the
It's
moment.
like it's honestly, it's like the Commanders for years and years and years. What I was always saying, like we were always in QB purgatory because we could never be bad enough to get a good quarterback until Ron Rivera, God bless, understood the assignment. The one thing he did right
The tank
was
commander.
the tank commander, Ron Rivera. But we were always like a 7-win team, 8-win team, and so we always, we're always picking like 16th, 18th,
Right.
and never were able to get a franchise quarterback. And then we bungled the whole Cousins thing when the one time we lucked into, well, RG3 got hurt. But anyway, the thing about the Falcons, I saw this, there's an account, NFL Memes IG or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah,
Those guys
you
never
bring it
miss.
up every seventh
I
show.
love those. I love those guys.
We're overdue for a mention.
Yes. Yeah.
It's been a while since we talked about NFL memes IG.
Those guys are so good. I just, you know what, I admire, because first off, they're it must be a team of people, because it's like, they're
It's
super
definitely
quick.
a 14-year-old in his house.
They never miss. I don't know. They always have like 20 carousel Instagrams, like whatever. And they do like 2 a day, it seems like. But they did a one where it was just like the Patriots won a bunch of Super Bowls, Brady retired, Belichick retired. They had to rebuild. They fired a coach. They got a new coach. They drafted Drake May, and went back to the Super Bowl all before the Falcons had a winning season. It was just like this entire trek of everything the Patriots have been through, up, down, up again.
Well,
So
speaking of a team in the same exact situation, the Jets hired Frank Reich
Yes.
as their OC. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't know who the quarterback is going to be. We have so many questions of what this team will ultimately look like. It's a shame that Tanner Engstrand is, never really given a fair shake, in my opinion. But here we are, Frank Reich, back in the NFL after a couple years at the college level.
yeah, I mean, Connor, this feels like a uninspiring choice.
Without a doubt. There's no way to, hype up the hire,
Reich?
right? Especially since you don't know who the quarterback is that he's working with and the options are limited.
Right. What do you think that? Do you think this is Aaron Glenn just wanting another veteran?
Yeah.
Veteran play caller, or is this the best they could do?
Both.
Yeah.
This is the best they could do out of the veteran play calling market. Yeah.
Yeah,
He knows Frank Reich.
Doesn't feel like Frank Reich is the offensive coordinator of the Jets in 3 years. It just seems very much like a placeholder type of operation. I will say with Frank Reich, now it hasn't gone great in recent years.
It's such
for
a weird
Frank,
hire.
Between Stanford, obviously they didn't go very well in Carolina. Last year in Indianapolis was a mess. 2021, I thought Frank Reich did a really good job with the Colts. Initially, when he was the head coach of the Colts, he had universal approval, did a great job with Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck clearly seems to rate him and trust him, given that he brought him to Stanford. And I thought that he was very creative as a play caller and as an offensive mind. And I liked that Frank Reich, he was very variable as well as a coach. He would take what the defense gave him. There would be games where he'd run Jonathan Taylor 28 times, and then there was one game against the Bucs where they were loading up against the run, and he's like, all right, well, you're doing that. I'm just going to throw the ball with Carson Wentz 21 times. He seemed to be very variable and malleable in impressive ways, and then it just seemed to all fall apart, and that is also 5 years ago at this point.
That's the thing. So what does a Frank Reich NFL offense look like today? I guess
You can talk yourself into it. It was a mess in Carolina. he's had success. He's somebody who's had success at multiple levels. He's an
adult in the room.
Right. He's the right. He's right. And he was the quarterback of one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history. So he understands a comeback, which is what the Jets need to do. I'm trying to talk you into it.
Here we go. We're getting somewhere.
Yeah, but it's weird because I feel like Aaron Glenn is coaching for his job this year.
Without a doubt.
Right?
Calling the defense.
And you're just sort of like, hey, man, if your job's on the line, this is, it's an interesting hire, right? Because this is who you're going to go to war with, so
it's like going all in on a 2-7. Like, what are we doing here? I would imagine that it is less than 50% that Aaron Glenn is the head coach of the New York Jets in 2 years' time.
Right. It's just a matter of what level of competency can a Frank Reich offense bring to Garrett Wilson, maybe Breece Hall, a good offensive line.
Yeah.
No quarterback right now. I think there's a chance Greg Roman is hired as the run game coordinator, which is he's good in that role.
He is good
in
that
Greg
role.
Roman running the entire offense, we've seen the lows of that. Yep. But he knows how to orchestrate the run game. So if they can patchwork Frank Reich with Greg Roman, for the Jets, you could do worse. It's just we just don't know who the quarterback is, and that's always the Jets' problem.
The difficulty is that it's so hard to get a marquee offensive coordinator when you literally don't have a quarterback on the roster. It's not even an option at the moment.
No, they don't want to go there.
Yeah.
So, one little
Deshaun Watson's probably available. They should pick up the phone.
Yeah, that would
He's
help
a
the Jets'
quarterback.
PR.
Where are you at emotionally now, Connor? Who do you want as your quarterback? Do you have a preference?
I like that question. Where are you emotionally,
Where am I
Connor?
emotionally?
Yeah. Are you at the Kyler Murray spectrum of the emotions?
No,
Ty Simpson?
At what cost?
Yeah.
Ty Simpson at 16?
No interest? Yeah.
33? Okay, you could talk yourself into it. That's a different...
Do you think Ty Simpson lasts till 33?
No, I don't. I really don't. I think he'd go somewhere in that Rams, Steelers, Jets at 16 kind of mold where you're just in such a tough spot. Like, why would Malik Willis sign there? Malik Willis should have options that make more sense for Malik Willis.
Right.
It's just...
Thing is, though, is that as bad as the Jets situation is, to your point, like, it's a good offensive line.
Yeah, with continuity.
And you have Garrett Wilson, who should be, on talent, a top 10, 12 receiver in the NFL. Now, the organization is a mess. Everything around it is a mess. But it shouldn't be the worst situation for a quarterback to come into, just with the starting point of the O-line and the star wide receiver.
And for all of our, I don't know if that's changed a year. You'll know this, Connor, but at least a year ago, players swore by Aaron Glenn.
Right.
Players love playing for Aaron Glenn. Now, I don't know if the Jets players would say that a year later, but
it's a little uneven. There's still guys that really like Aaron Glenn, and then they've also moved on or will move on from some of the guys that didn't work. So it just felt like he was very in over his head year one. Maybe that's why you go to an experienced offensive coordinator instead. Right. Because Aaron Glenn now needs to direct so much of his attention specifically to the defense that somebody else needs to entirely run one huge portion of the team.
Do you think the hiring of Frank Reich means that they're going to go young at quarterback? Like, that's one of the hallmarks, if you will, or that Frank Reich's a good developer of young quarterbacks. Whether that's true or not, that's sort of the reputation.
It's a great point. To me, it signals that they will draft a quarterback with one of those first picks in the top 44. They have 4 picks inside the top 44, whether it's Simpson on the higher end, Nussmeier on the back end, with a veteran that, hey, we're going to have Frank try to develop the young guy while the veteran plays, and then let's look at what the young guy has at the end of the year or the second half of the year, and hopefully he can save our jobs.
What is that rep based off for Frank Reich, that he's good with young quarterbacks? Because he went to Carolina, and it was a mess with Bryce Young. He had veterans in Indianapolis. He had Andrew Luck.
I think because he was one.
Right.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying, but that's the reputation.
I know it's the rep,
Yes. Quarterback that works with quarterbacks.
Right.
It's not great. I need more. I'd like more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, it's never boring.
Right.
It's
right. That's the perfect way to put it. Never boring. There's always something to talk about with the New York Jets.
Yes.
Our last bit to talk about with the news. This isn't shocking because this would be a little bit of a battle negotiation. The NFLPA has no appetite for an 18-game schedule. That is per the interim executive director, David White. Because to get an 18-game schedule, Jay, lawyer yourself.
Yes, technically a lawyer.
You got to give something.
Yeah, of the Lionel Hutz variety, but technically a lawyer on the Supreme Court roll. Yeah, this seems like negotiation. There will be a price point at which point 18 games becomes viable for everyone, whether that means the introduction of a second bye week, which I think would make sense. Ultimately, in the interest of the spectacle of the game and player health and safety, I don't think they should be playing more games. If anything, they should be playing less. But certainly, money speaks. The the more games on the schedule, more ticket receipts, everything, et cetera, et cetera. So I suspect this probably gets done at some point because that's the momentum it's going towards, but not sure it's ideal.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just what's it going to cost, right? And so, and yeah, they'll get to a point where what will happen. My uninformed total guess is that at some point the players will say, okay, we'll do it, but you've got to guarantee us this amount of money, or the salary cap has to get to here. To which the NFL will say, okay.
Yeah.
To which the NFL will then go to all of their broadcast partners and say, we've now added an extra game, and whether there's now a new package for one of the streamers or one of the companies that doesn't have an NFL package, but there'll be 18 new games, that are available, and somebody will pay the price, and the NFL will make a healthy profit on that, and some of that will go to the players, and some of that will go to the NFL. Roger Goodell at his press conference on Monday talked about that his goal is, or hope, I think, probably not more accurate, his hope, but it's going to happen, is that there's a 16-game international schedule. They've got 9 games next year, but they'll eventually get to 16 games. And so if you have an 18-game season with 2 bye weeks, that makes international travel a lot more easier to mix and match and get teams over there, get them back, give them one of their 2 bye weeks to recover from the long travel.
Oh, I got
to Australia.
Yes, more Australian games.
More Australia,
2 preseason games, 2 bye weeks, 18 games. So breaking news right now. Look at that great Jets hat on Nathaniel Hackett. You're looking at the new offensive coordinator of the Arizona Cardinals. How does he keep doing it?
Come on,
someone's got to ask the questions. I know Mike LaFleur assumingly is going to call the plays, and I think Mike LaFleur is a pretty good play caller when he did it with the Jets. He didn't get to do it with the Rams. But I mean, what is the purpose?
I guess the pro Nathaniel Hackett argument is that he is a player's coach. Like, players love him.
They do. He's fun.
Players love him.
Yeah.
Fun, good guy. Lets them do whatever they want.
Loves Austin Powers. That's all he talks about all the time.
Right. Yes.
And do whatever they want. The gold zone.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The gold zone. Right. So I guess maybe that's it. Maybe just quote trying to change the culture. Not worried about the play calling because he's going to do the play calling, and so, I don't know. Maybe this is an attempt to get Aaron Rodgers.
To Arizona.
Well, he's people do retire to Arizona.
Yeah.
Old people like Arizona.
Right.
It's warm all the time, so.
It wouldn't actually be the worst.
That's actually not the craziest idea. I mean, I just made that joke, but
it's not the worst spot for him either. I mean, it depends what you want to do with the Cardinals. Like, long term, what does that actually mean? Like, what's the direction? Like, you're not going to win the Super Bowl next year with Aaron Rodgers as quarterback. You might go 9-8 and get a wild card. Maybe that's what they want to do. Aaron Rodgers is a starting level of quarterback in the NFL still, what he showed in Pittsburgh. Now, it didn't go great. He's not going to be a starting level if he has to play the Houston Texans pass rush. But he probably gives them a better chance, or as good a chance to win as guys like Jacoby Brissett.
Right. Indoor stadium.
Yeah.
We're building up. We're building this up.
One of the great Michael Wilson.
Right.
Marv. That's right. Although it just feels like if Aaron Rodgers comes back next year, he's going to want to go to a team that has a chance at the Super Bowl. And, I mean, you sort of know.
Minnesota.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, if Minnesota will have him, like, it just doesn't feel like that if his options are basically Arizona or retire, it feels like he would retire just because, like, you're not getting to the Super Bowl with the way the Cardinals roster is currently constructed in a division with the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Niners, right? They're just not doing it next year. Like, I suppose anything's possible, but, like, I mean, could have said that about the Patriots last year, I suppose. But, like,
that's fair.
Sure.
You never know, I suppose. But feels like he'd probably go back to Pittsburgh if he wants to return. But it is interesting, and Hackett and Rodgers are very close.
All right, coming up, you can see the excitement building up in Jay because, look at this.
Let's get physical.
Piercing the veil. Look at these stats. Let's get physical. Coming right up.
Alec Pierce, I think, has now moved above Josh Downs as the clear number 2 guy. He's a legitimate wide receiver 1 for the Colts in real life, and I think a wide receiver 2 type in fantasy. If you're like a kid in Germany, you must be growing up as a kid in Germany like, geez, quarterback's easy to play in America. Maybe I can do that when I'm older.
I thought what you were going to say is like there's a kid in Germany saying like Alec Pierce is the greatest. Thinks of Alec Pierce the way we think of like Randy Moss.
It's a stain upon the industry, but Alec Pierce remains so available. He has been fantastic. He is the best wide receiver. I think he's the best pass catching option in this offense. Alec Pierce, yeah, like we've said, he's going to get paid like a wide receiver 1, and he's performing like it.
Since week 7, he's the 17th best wide receiver on a points per game basis.
Talk over that mic just so we can check his level, please.
All right, we are back from Radio Row, and you see him at the end of the set here. Alec Pierce, Colts wide receiver.
Yep. For the
Welcome
shoe.
to the show. For the shoe. Jay Croucher's favorite. I mean, I kid you not. You're probably his favorite player in the NFL.
Yeah, it's been an ongoing bit. We were very high on your earlier fantasy football show. We saw your development. I think that people largely pigeonholed you in your early seasons as a deep threat, and just seeing your game develop this year was awesome. What did you see of your own development this year?
Yeah, like you said, I think just getting a lot more opportunities to do more things. Talking about from the short to intermediate game. Yep. I think really my third year, the year before, I think I kind of established that I can be dominant in the downfield passing game, and I think just kind of going from there and just building on that and just doing more of this next year. Just getting that intermediate game and stuff, and just getting more catches.
Yeah, Alec, unfortunately, so what we did while you were, we should have timed this a little bit better. We didn't. We had a whole montage of Jay talking you up and just saying, I think he's the best receiver on the Colts. I think he's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I think he's been somewhat miscast or somewhat pigeonholed, to your point, in terms of just as a deep threat. Jay's a degenerate, and not only is he a big fan of the Colts, but also put a lot of money on the Colts as well, legally, of course, as well. So he watched every single. When I tell you he watched every single play of yours and of the Colts, I mean it. So for the shoe is a big phrase we throw around on the show quite a bit. We wanted to play it back for you, but unfortunately it was playing while you were getting set up. We didn't plan that right, which is typical.
As a Colts fan, it was awesome, particularly the first half of the season, and Shane Steichen's offense just seemed like it was rolling. What did it feel like those first 9 weeks or so, where you guys were a historically great offense?
Yeah. I mean, it felt awesome. It felt like we couldn't do anything wrong, right?
Yeah.
We just go out there. It was just easy. You go out there, we were going to score our first drive. I think it took us a couple games to punt the ball or something. Some crazy stat on that. But, yeah, it felt like we just couldn't do anything wrong. So that was pretty cool to see. And, obviously, knowing the NFL like that, it wasn't realistic. That wasn't going to last the whole year. But, yeah, we just got to find a way to kind of keep that going throughout more of the season next year.
Going into camp, it felt like a lot of the NFL world had kind of written off Daniel Jones with how things ended with the Giants. What was it like for your perspective, where the outside noise was, all right, Daniel Jones, then he gets to camp, not only lit it up, won the starting job, but he was playing so well before he got hurt.
Yeah. It was awesome to see that he's able, because obviously that wasn't easy for him,
right,
with what happened in New York, and that's kind of happens in this league sometimes, and it's awesome to see when guys can kind of get back up from getting knocked down and having a tough situation. And I think he made the most of his opportunity last year, really showed what he could do, and it was unfortunate that he got injured, kind of cut things short. But I think with him as our quarterback, you could see how dangerous our team was and what the things we were doing. So yeah, I think he did all he could have done last year.
Alec, take me inside the locker room. So obviously, devastating injury to Daniel. You guys have been rolling along so well. But take me inside the locker room when Coach Steichen comes in and says, by the way, Philip Rivers is coming out of retirement and coming to play for the Colts.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, honestly think that's one of the things I just heard from media first, because I think it was probably our off day, so we weren't even in there. But they announced that he's being signed to practice squad, and then I think they gave him probably a day or two of practice to see what he had left in him, and once he looked good enough in practice, then they kind of announced later in the week, hey, we're rolling with Phil this week. He's gonna be our starter. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see, and just pretty special moment being able to play with him. He's future Hall of Famer, just legendary guy. So I think it's definitely something I'll be able to talk about for the rest of my life.
Yeah, did he adopt you? Did he officially adopt you? Are you one of his kids now?
11th or 12th kid?
Yeah. It's building out a full team.
Right.
Maybe.
Really is. Is there one thing specifically that you took from Philip that you learned? Obviously, incredible veteran. So you're still young in your career.
Yeah, one, I loved his speeches. I thought he was like when I saw that he was getting interviewed for head coaching jobs, like I think he'd be an incredible head coach. I don't think I know he's got the whole family and like a bunch of kids back home and his sons, you know, he's the coach for his son's high school football team. So I'm sure he's not ready to get into coaching right now because he's got all the family and stuff like that. But yeah, I was like that. I think he'd make a phenomenal head coach.
Yeah. Alec, you should know that Matthew passionately defended you on national television after you got kicked out of that game against Houston in Week 18. But
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a big rant. It went on for way too long, but it was okay. His heart was in it.
I thought it was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I feel like he walked in. I feel like the ref, like if you look at the video, tell me if I'm wrong on this. I feel like so you don't understand the call, and so you're like your arms are out, but that he walks into you. That like if you walk, like he sort of like he leaned, yeah, a little bit, yeah, a little bit. I don't think he was. I don't know if he was trying to, but like I feel like he actually initiated the contact. If you go back and watch it, like there's a Pruder film, which I did. I broke it down frame by frame.
So you throw the challenge flag, maybe it gets overturned, maybe Alec gets 2 free throws. But what gets lost in that is that you were bowling out in that game with Riley Leonard, who played really well against the Texans defense. Like, what did you see from Riley and his kind of growth over the course of the year?
Yeah, it was awesome to see Riley. Yeah, I was definitely proud of how he played that game. Man. It was, you know, obviously going in their first ever NFL start and playing against the Texans. That's a tough defense, a really good defense. So, yeah, it was great to see what he was able to do there. You know, he's a playmaker. You see the playmaker abilities like passing the ball, running the ball, and that rushing touchdown. So I think quarterbacks like that are dangerous. I think he's a good fit for him. Like him and Daniel get along well, and I think they work together well. Like, really study well, and they probably are both learning off each other. So I think it's good, like, setup for them.
It's those Duke guys. They all seem to mesh well together, Daniel and Riley.
Yeah.
So for the first time now in your professional career, you have a little control where you can go. More excited or nervous about free agency, which is such a whirlwind process?
Yeah, excited for sure. You know, I think, like you said, first time you can control where you go. So, yeah, we'll see. I think it's going to be nothing but exciting this next month. Probably pretty crazy, but we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, well, you timed the breakout year pretty well going into free agency. I want to ask you about Shane Steichen. Like, everyone thinks that, you know, he's offensive guru, very accomplished coach. Do you have any examples of what makes Shane such a good coach?
Yeah, I think just like the play calling and just like the, you know, everything he does just with the offense, like, and it's probably like really like during the week, I think, figuring out like what the other team's running, and I think that really shows with how well we were doing, like especially early in the year, like on those opening drives. Like I think he just had them schemed up and ready to go, and just had a good game plan going.
Hey, Alec, you know, we're a fantasy football show, so fantasy football managers loved your season this year. Breakout star. I was curious, does fantasy football come up in your regular everyday life? Do fans come up to you? Do they tell you they've got you on your team? How often does this happen?
Yeah, a lot. Honestly, a lot. Like I think a lot of people will come up and they'll be like, "Oh, you know, I had you in fantasy, or I picked you up and I dropped you," and I'm like, that's cool. Like, yeah, nice to meet you too. Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah, like, oh, I played you and you gave me 0 points. I'm like. Yeah, like good to meet you too. Like, so it's pretty funny though. A lot of people do like to mention that, and honestly, I think a lot of times that's when I get recognized. People be like, "Oh, you'll be talking to me like, wait, like I had you in fantasy football, or I have you in fantasy football." So I think it's probably good, and that's probably why a lot of people know like the skill players, honestly, in the NFL is just from fantasy football.
Yeah, I mean, it is true, right? It is. I think that, you know, obviously Colts fans know who you are, but the reason you have a national name, I think, is in part because of fantasy football, because you produce such great stats, because you had such a breakout season, and because so many people had you in fantasy football. Jay had you in our league, by the way, just so you know.
He was. He did great things.
He did great things. Have you ever played fantasy football, Alec, when you were younger?
Yeah, I played. Last time I played was sometime in college.
Okay.
I feel like I was never like super into it, but I know my brothers are huge into it, my cousins and stuff. So yeah, I'd talk to him like Monday or Tuesday, and he'd be giving me the rundown and be like, you know, like, oh, I just need a couple points out of this guy tonight, or like I can't have this guy get this many points or else I'm gonna lose, you know. So it's always kind of fun.
Did they hit you up like saying like, all right, listen, you know, JT gonna play this week or whatever? Like, I try to get some inside tips.
Honestly, my brothers never do. Okay. No, I did have like. It is weird though, because I had like random people like hit me up before. Like I think when I was hurt, I had a concussion. I had somebody like random, like I had their number still on my phone, but they text me like, "You playing this week?" And I'm like,
not even a hello?
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh no, you're not gonna like ask like, is my head doing all right or anything?" They're just like, "Yeah, are you playing this week?" And I'm like, "Oh, like." I was like, I'm not even gonna respond to you. I was like, I'm not letting you know that. Like, no, maybe if you ask nicely, like.
No, that is the right response. Yeah. That is absolutely the right response. Yeah. Never answer that unless it's me texting you, and then which I really need to know. We have a.
There it is.
What happened here? All right. Goodness. All right. Well, our show, Fantasy Football Happy Hour, takes place in a bar when we're not normally in Radio Row, and so what we've been asking all of our guests to do, as part of the show, we do a bunch of. We have a bunch of bar-related games that we do, and one of the things we do is we do beer pong. We do beer pong.
All right.
So if you don't mind, so far no get. By the way, no. We'd like you to do the celebrity pong shot. We want you to be the celebrity pong shot for us. So far, none of our guests have hit this yet, but I'd love for you to.
It's pressure.
Yeah.
Versatile
stand
athlete.
It there.
That's pressure.
Professional athlete. Here you go.
We'll get you.
Unhook him so he's got some room. All right, here we go.
Lefty. Well, Manu Ginobili. Good technique.
Right, hey, take one more shot.
Yeah, one more.
Don't wide. We need a wide shot. There we go. There we go.
The old lefty.
There he is. But listen, superstar, fantasy football superstar, Alec Pierce. Huge season. Congratulations. Good luck in free agency.
Yes, thank you.
For the shoe. And we thank you. We thank you for taking some time with us today.
Thank you, Alec.
Appreciate the support.
100%. We got your back.
NBC Sports Now is live from San Francisco all week with special guests. Tune in live from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time each day, Monday to Friday, for the Dan Patrick Show, PFT Live, Chris Sims Unbuttoned, the Dan Le Batard Show, and of course us here at the Fantasy Football Happy Hour. NBC Sports Now is a free 24/7 streaming channel. Full details on where to watch, NBCSports.com/now. We're going to go to break. When we're back, our interviews on Radio Row continue all week long. It's legendary February at NBC and streaming on Peacock in just 2 days. Join the celebration as we kick off the Winter Olympics in Italy with the opening ceremony. And we continue here at Radio Row. Matthew and I got to catch up with standout rookie wide receiver of the Carolina Panthers, Tetairoa McMillan, T-Mac. Check this out.
This is the definitive interview.
Our interviews at Radio Row continue, and we are with Tetairoa McMillan. T-Mac, this time last year, you were up here with us. 1,000-yard rookie season later. How was the transition to the pros? Feel like it went pretty smoothly.
It was pretty solid.
Yeah. What was the biggest difference to you when you got to Carolina compared to all those years at Arizona?
Shoot, I mean, I tell everybody it's definitely the refs. It's definitely
interesting.
I mean, my rookie year, so I feel like I had to earn my stripes to get some calls. But whereas in college, I was pretty much getting every call that I wanted, you know. But definitely got to earn my stripes a little bit more.
Do you feel like that was a rookie thing, or was that a Panther thing? Because, you know, obviously no, I'm being dead serious, because the reason you're a Carolina Panther is because the year before they didn't have a great year. They were able to draft you very high. This year you guys are a playoff team. Do you think it was a you thing, or do you think it was like a, hey, okay, the Panthers are for real now?
Oh, I mean, you know, I don't know. It could be a little bit of both, but who knows? Regardless, it's just, I didn't get the calls that I wanted, so. You know, just got to play a little different. That's it.
Well, you were able to play through it. So congratulations on a great season. Tell me something about Bryce Young that we don't know.
What you want to hear? You know, I feel like, you know, he doesn't get enough credit that, you know, that I think he deserves. You know, a lot of people don't realize that, you know, he got drafted and came into the league in a terrible situation, and then was able to take his team to the playoffs in the third year. So, I mean, it's kind of something that, you know, you want in your franchise quarterback. You know, he's definitely one of those players that people want to play for, and one of those people that want to play for other people. You know, he's a very humble dude, so he always puts the team before himself. So, you know, there's a lot of things that people don't realize, people don't see. But, you know, I give a lot of credit to him.
I think a lot of people know this, but you were in a unique situation. You played with the same quarterback in Noah Fafita for so long, going from high school all throughout college. Was there a little bit of a transition period with Bryce, or was that a little easier? Because you were catching passes from the same guy for 7 years? How long?
8 years.
8 years.
I mean, yeah.
That's crazy.
Nah, it's a lot different, man. You know, just being able to play with a different quarterback, it was hard at first, you know. But at the end of the day, it's football, man. My job is to catch football, so that's what I did. And whether it's Noah or Bryce or anybody else, you know, as long as they get the ball to me and it hits my hands, I got to catch it. So.
All right, so I've heard different stories. Some people have said, oh, he loves being called T-Mac. I've heard other people say, like, no, you got to call him Tetairoa. What do your friends call you? If us in the broadcast world, how should we refer to you?
My friends call me T-Mac.
T-Mac,
yeah.
All right. Are we allowed to call you T-Mac? Can we have a blessing as a show to refer to you as T-Mac?
Y'all got it. Just don't call me Tet. We good.
Okay. All right, good. No Tet, but T-Mac.
Yeah.
All right.
We talk about you a lot in the fantasy football world, so that's why we need to know.
Yeah. I'm sure fantasy football comes up a lot. And do fans come up to you and talk to you about it? They have you on your team? Thank you.
No, I mean, yeah. people tell me they have me on their team, but. You know, it's not as crazy as other people. I feel like, you know, my rookie year, a lot of people didn't expect much from me, so I probably didn't get as much hate as I probably should have. But you know, it's always cool to hear that, you know, people got me on their fantasy team. Well, I'm like, man, well, I hope I did you justice.
You absolutely did. And by the way, anyone that didn't expect much from you this year didn't listen to this show, because we have been fans for a long, long time. He had you as his highest-rated wide receiver coming out of the draft, and you were a preseason sleeper for us. So we're very happy. Talk to us a little bit, T-Mac, about spam.
Spam, I mean, as you see on my shirt, spam versus everybody. You know, I was fortunate enough to partner with them, something that I grew up on my whole life and still eating to this day. So you can never go wrong with spam. It's super versatile. You know, I don't know if y'all familiar with it, but you can eat spam musubi if y'all ever had it. Spam and eggs, spam and fried rice. I put spam in my spaghetti. I put spam in my ramen noodles. So I'm a big fan of spam.
You're talking pre-game spam?
No, I eat spam like every meal of the day. Pre-game I eat it. Man, whatever, literally.
The face of spam.
Face of spam. I have two last questions for you. Number one is, I have a favor to ask. Will you next time you talk to Jalen Coker, because we're also big fans of Jalen Coker, what I'm trying to make a thing is that all the fans of Jalen Coker that were the Cokeheads.
Cokeheads.
The Cokeheads. So just see if we can get Jalen on board with that. Cokeheads unite.
Like his fan club.
His fan club. People that are big fans of Jalen Coker.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are big fans of him. You know, I've heard the cokehead thing thrown around a little bit more.
we
say it way too much.
Yeah, I don't
try
know
to make it a
we're
thing.
allowed to say that or anything like that.
No, we're trying to make it. That's his last name. And after that playoff game, I'm sure he's got a lot more fans. Last thing for you, T-Mac, before we let you go. So the show is called Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So normally when we're not on Radio Row, we're in a bar. That's our set, is in a bar. And so we do a lot of different bar-related games. So I was wondering if you would be willing to do a celebrity pong shot. This is what we're asking all of our guests. You ever play beer pong? I'm sure you never have.
No, I don't play that. I don't play that.
You don't do that?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay.
No, I'll play it, but I'm not familiar with the game.
Oh, understood.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, very simple. Take a beer. You take a ping pong ball. Go to the end of that table. Stand up, and just try to get into this. Get it in here.
Good over here.
We haven't had anybody hit the cup yet.
We haven't had anybody hit the cup yet. We'll take you out. Yeah, you don't need to do that.
I got. How does game work? You got
no elbow over the table.
Teach me the rules. I'm not familiar with
all you have to worry about is no elbow over the table. You're good.
You're good.
Oh.
Almost.
Pretty close.
Almost. Pretty close. Pretty close. But listen, 1,000-yard rookie season, fantasy superstar, Carolina Panther superstar, playoff team, bright future in Carolina. Thank you so much for spending some time, and with thanks to Spam for making you available to us.
For sure. I appreciate y'all taking the time out to have me.
All right. T-Mac, and we're back after this.
Of course, that was Tetairoa McMillan, who stands at the top of the rookie receiving yards leaders from the 2025 NFL season. The only guy to get to that 1,000-yard mark, Matthew.
Yeah, and then what's interesting is you look at this list in terms of rookie pass catchers, right, for receiving yards. Mecca Ibuka, no surprise at number 2, but look at the next 4. All tight ends.
Right.
Tyler Warren, Harold Fannin, Colston Loveland, Oronde Gadsden. So, Connor, anything you make of that? Was it just a weak rookie wide receiver class? Burton got going late. Obviously, Higgins and Rell couldn't get on the field that much. The
Golden
Titans
was
guys,
really disappointing.
Golden was disappointing.
Yeah, I think what's even more alarming is rookie tight ends don't ever produce, and we had 4
No, I know.
that were a pretty big deal.
That's
so
right.
I think it gives you a lot of promise, Jay, going forward that, hey, we finally got a new – because it seems like we're pretty close to where Travis Kelce's not going to be in the NFL anymore. Mark Andrews has declined.
Sure.
We've needed some guys to step into that role. And
Hawkinson, depending on what happens with Minnesota, Hawkinson's taking a step back as well.
That's the positive. But the receiver class as a whole, besides Burden, who I think we're excited about the upside and the finish of the year, was a little flat on some areas.
I think the thing is, too, is that I don't think he would have caught T-Mac, but I think that the guy who would have finished second in receiving yards if he didn't get hurt was Travis Hunter. Because Travis Hunter was really starting to come on.
That's a good point,
the last game before he got hurt, I think he had 100-plus yards against the Rams in Europe and was looking like they were really focusing on the offensive role for him. But it is interesting, and it kind of lends itself into fantasy, the fact that it seems like there is now this premium on these tight ends coming out of the draft who are effectively receivers.
Right.
Like Oronde Gadsden's a receiver. Harold Fannin Jr. is more a receiver. He's more a slot receiver than a tight end in a lot of ways. So that is going to make, I think, the tight end position a lot deeper in general.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Which fantasy-wise we're very excited about. I wonder, I think there could be more touchdown equity, but do you guys feel like, I don't want to say that T-Mac has reached his ceiling, but just feels like as long as Dave Canales is his head coach and as long as Bryce Young's his quarterback, there's always going to be a limit there because they're going to want to be more run heavy, more ball control. Like a Mecca Ibuka, like if Mike Evans moves on, like you sort of feel like a Mecca Ibuka could, just have, put together a full year. He obviously had an amazing start to the season, or Luther Burden over a full year, right, what we saw over the second half. But as brilliant as T-Mac is from a talent standpoint, just feels like his situation limits his upside a little bit.
I would agree with that. That's a big season for any receiver. So the fact is, you're looking for guys. I think what you're trying to say, Matthew, too, is like now you're going to pay a different cost for Tetairoa McMillan in the draft. You're probably not paying that same level of cost, although hype trains in fantasy over summer get crazy for Luther Burden. Travis Hunter, there might be a dip on because people forget about him.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Like you pointed out, Jay, things were trending the right way for Travis Hunter. So I think that's the point is, like, we like T-Mac. We think he's going to be really good in the NFL. But where you're drafting him, now you're paying a premium price. You have to have those results.
Yeah, it feels like T-Mac is what he is. He's the alpha wide receiver 1. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 for that team. Luther Burden's on an upward trajectory. Hunter is obviously a wild card. The one who was most confusing to me, though, Connor, to figure out is Emeka Ibuka, where he was looking like, he's producing like a top 5 wide receiver for the first 6-7 weeks. And then it felt like it just all snowballed downhill where he started to have some drop issues. He had the drop against the Saints in the end zone, which was just comical and just kind of just not a ball that an NFL wide receiver drops. And then by the end of the season, he wasn't even playing. He's playing like half the snaps on a team that really needed his skill set in theory.
Although the counter to that is that it wasn't just him. Baker played better. Baker was in the MVP conversation for the first 6-7 weeks of the season, and they should have made the playoffs, and they didn't, right? And I know, like, you know, they won the game they should, but the Falcons. But still, the fact is like the entire Buccaneers offense, it felt like from the second half of the season on, just hit a wall.
I think so. I think once again, like Baker's play falling off, combined with just everything, they move on from the offensive coordinator.
It felt like Baker wasn't healthy as well. I mean, he did the shoulder against the Rams. He didn't look nearly himself in the second half of the season.
All right, we're going to take one more break here on Radio Row. When we're back, we're looking at some of the novelty props on DraftKings for the Super Bowl. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code FFHH when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook.
The crown is yours.
The crown is yours.
Crown is yours.
It's time for last call. That was a good one. Oh, man, it's like a dying animal. Super Bowl novelty props.
Dead berry.
Wait, what you
Dead strawberry.
you're not there yet, Matthew. You're doing pretty well. It's Wednesday.
Thank you.
You're in top shape for Wednesday. All those business meetings.
Well, we had media day yesterday for
your own
for
press
Football
conference.
Night in America.
Yeah.
A lot of
What was your favorite question?
What was my favorite question?
Yeah.
I don't know that I had a. Here's my favorite question.
Is it a must-win game?
No. Yeah, I didn't get those. I did get some like, are you excited? Yes, obviously. I'll tell you.
Not really, Jim.
No, the best question
Should have said absolutely not.
I don't want to derail us too much. The best question I got actually, and I tweeted this one, was it's like most people on a NFL pregame show are either a former coach or player, a host, or a news reporter.
Right.
What does it say that you, who are none of those things, are on Football Night in America and about to do a Super Bowl pregame show?
That's cool.
And I really appreciate
like
that question. I'm like, it's amazing. It's incredible. I'm not going to sit here and say it's just another, it is super cool. I'm incredibly grateful. And I said it's a credit to NBC Sports for having the guts and vision to say, we think this is a massive way where people engage with the NFL, and this should be part of our pregame presentation.
Yep.
So, anyway.
Trailblazer.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you. So that was my favorite question. I thought that was
I think that's
I love
awesome.
that question. And so, that Ryan Glass-Spiegel of Front Office Sports.
Newsbreaker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Glass break.
All
Anyway,
right.
so it was appreciate Ryan.
Here are the novelty props, which are always interesting to look at. The jersey number of the first touchdown scorer.
I have a take on this one.
Oh, do you?
Okay.
Fire away.
Hit us.
Yeah. I think it's over. I think it's over 10.5.
Mr.
Right?
King agrees with you. Minus 160.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's some of the players that are over, whose jersey numbers are over 10.5. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson, Hunter Henry, Rashid Shaheed. The only guy, there's two guys that I think under 10.5, Drake May, Ken Walker.
Right.
But I just feel like you've got a better shot with all the players I just listed. Of the players that are most likely to score the first touchdown, 66% of them have a number over 10.5. Again, JSN, the Patriots running backs, Hunter Henry, Rashid Shaheed.
Yep. I like a flea flicker to be attempted at plus 200. Patriots ran one against the Broncos in the snow in not great conditions. And I think that the Patriots are going to have a lot of issues against the Seattle defense. They'll need to get creative.
Seattle should call one to Rashid Shaheed.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
Total players that have a pass attempt is my favorite one every year.
Yeah. And what do you think? You're taking the over or the under? I
take the over for the thrill, but the under is the sharp
The
play.
under is the safest way.
Yeah.
Just I don't think either guy gets hurt, right? And they other than neither team really does a lot of trick plays.
No.
All right, it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. For Jay, Connor, and Alec Pierce, and Tetairoa McMillan, I'm Matthew Berry. Peace out.